So last Sunday, many of you undertook the sacred bowl burning ritual of releasing what no longer serves you and creating a vision, a letter to God for what you would like to co-create in this new year. In your spiritual life, in your relationships, finances, career, it touched all aspects of life. And today, we gather at another sacred threshold. It's not a dramatic one like many of the New Year's Eve celebrations that announces itself with fireworks or other kinds of fanfare, but it is a sacred threshold nonetheless. And we call it the White Stone Ceremony, which is an opportunity to listen directly to the soul's longing for renewal, for clarity, and divine identity. At the beginning of a new year, or at any moment, when you're looking to have that experience of spiritual recommitment, we take time to pause and listen for a deeper truth. We ask the question, what is seeking to be expressed through me? What God quality is calling to be embodied by me? The White Stone Ceremony was created in unity several decades ago, and it was born out of a passage in Revelation. It's an understanding that the white stone appears, at least in that time, to be a symbol of victory and of divine recognition. Historically, white stones were given in the ancient courts as a sign of acquittal or freedom, forgiveness. It was your demonstration of a clean slate if you had been enslaved or otherwise kept from being a full citizen of the country. They were also used as tokens for admission to sacred gatherings to show in some ways you were worthy to enter into gatherings that were happening at that time. And it comes from Revelation 2:17, where it says, "To the one who conquers, I will give a white stone, and on the stone is written a new name that no one knows except for the one who receives it." When we're looking at Scripture and the stories of the Bible, we seek to try and understand them metaphysically, to see what lies under there, not as a literal prediction of some kind of future events like Revelation appears to be, but rather as a map of the soul's awakening. So when we hear about a white stone with a new name written on it, we are not waiting for something external to happen. We are awakening to something internal and eternal. I want you to hear that again. This is a process where we are becoming more awake to what is already within us and what has eternally been present. The white stone represents for us a cleansed consciousness, a new way of a new perspective, a new lens in which we see and engage life. It is a renewed sense of who we are as divine beings. It is sometimes a divine idea emerging into our awareness. And the new name is not a label that we choose with our intellect. It is not even a desire of our ego of how we'd like to appear to the world. It is about a spiritual quality that we are seeking to express that is revealed through our innermost chamber. You know, last week, some of this letter to God was about setting goals or having a vision of something to manifest in our lives, like getting a promotion or even losing weight or meditating more, goals that people often set with the New Year's. And while intentions and goals have their place in our life, they're there to help us strive and guide us along the way, this ritual is really about inviting something deeper than that. This new name is not about something that you will do this year. It is about who you're going to be in this new year. So the name might be a god quality like peace or courage, faith, freedom, compassion, wisdom, joy, wholeness, truth, presence. I've probably had all of those at some point in time. This is just a little sampling of my white stones over the last couple of decades. And it's really not because you have to create and generate more of this. It's not because you lack these qualities, but because they're ready to express more fully through you. We have all of that. It's just where are we going to focus on? What are we going to have our energy match to this quality of being that has chosen us? Throughout Scripture, when a person receives a new name, it is a marking of a spiritual turning point. We see that throughout the Bible. Abram became Abraham. Sarai became Sarah. Jacob became Israel. Simon became Peter. Saul became Paul. It was about a shift in who they knew and believed themselves to be. So a new name, a new quality of being, signifies a new consciousness, a willingness to partner with the divine in a greater way. It's not about God changing us. It is about God expressing through us. It's good to understand, and especially if you're sharing with other people, your name cannot be given to you by another person. So if somebody comes up to you and says, I really think you need to be, peace this year, it's not for them to decide. It can't be compared. It can't be judged. It is simply what is showing up for you. It is a direct transmission from spirit to soul. And as you receive this information today, I want you to think of it as a seed, not as a finished product. A seed contains everything it needs, but just like in nature, it requires attention, intention, faith, and as we often talk about, practice. The name that you receive today is meant to unfold throughout the year. And you may not fully understand it at first. I've gotten some strange ones. I'll share about my one from last year. It may stretch you. It might comfort you. It may, and most likely will, call you into unfamiliar territory. It's what it's designed to do. That's how Spirit works. And once you receive your name, then the invitation is, the call is to live into it, to find ways in which you more and more often experience that as your state of being. You can ask yourself throughout the year, what would this situation look like if I embodied my name? Whatever that is. If I embodied generosity, if I embodied peace, if I embodied faith, what would that look like? How would I respond if I'm responding from a place of abundance or a place of faith or whatever the name may be? And here's what I have found really important, and how often you do this is really something that you have to find your own rhythm about. What is one thing I can do today, or sometimes it's this week, or even this month, that expresses this quality? And see what comes up. We don't really have any instructions on how to do this except through our own internal guidance. So if your name that is chosen today is peace, you will likely be invited to stop engaging, whether it's conflict within or conflict without. If your name is courage, you may be invited to speak when you would normally stay quiet. If your name is trust, you will be invited to loosen your grip on wanting to control. One year I had forgiveness, oh Lord, let me tell you. Be careful what you ask for, because as the little soul in the sun tells us, in order to experience forgiveness, what has to happen? You have to have somebody to forgive. You have to have something to be able to practice it with. So Spirit has a way of going, oh, okay, I like that. I'm going to make that happen for you. But it's really not about perfection. It is about practice. It is about the experience and the growth that results from it. So as I mentioned a minute ago, last year I received an unusual word. I don't even know if it's a God quality. I guess it is. And it was metamorphosis. Okay. And this is where I usually have to start is, okay. I understand the process of metamorphosis, and I guess it's true that God is always shifting and changing and is the very energy that allows for that transformation to happen. And specifically, I was guided to focus this transformation on how I was being with my body. To change my internal beliefs and thoughts and habits more towards loving my body. Because let me tell you, in the first 6 decades or so, that hadn't really been on my, this was just a thing that was supposed to do whatever I needed it to do. Whatever I made it go through, then that was just what it needed to go through, but its job was to do what I needed to do, and I've been very fortunate and grateful that most of the time it did it. It did exactly what I needed to do. So as I ask these questions, well, what can I do or experience today or this week, this month? It began last year in January with acknowledging that my body was way out of whack, especially my neck. And I had been complaining about it for like 8 months. So I had to acknowledge that I had not taken the time to find a new chiropractor. And it's been 5 years since we moved back to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I made that happen. That was the first thing I made happen. So it was both about being and doing at the same time, and you'll find they kind of go hand in hand. I was going to love my body more by supporting it in what it needed. I also chose to address some issues with menopause that I had ignored for even longer, and found a doctor that would support me in that. All year long, I have endeavored to make more loving choices of what I put into my body. Not a diet. I refuse to do that anymore, but just to be more conscious of it. And as a result, I have lost a very slow 25 pounds. But it's been a slow process, but it's been one of shifting. It's not been, I've done the instantaneous, get some results, and then they go away as soon as you can't sustain that anymore. In April, a few months before that, but it happened in April, I was guided to do a deep internal healing dive by attending an advanced intensive retreat with Dr. Joe Dispenza. Many of you may remember that. I came back on Easter morning. I probably could have walked on water that day if I really would have tried. I was that. So this was doing over 40 hours of meditation that week, and I did it with a specific intention, because you're asked to sort of set an intention when you come in, towards lowering my cholesterol, which I did by 70 points in that week. Now, I will tell you that slowly, without doing that intensive intention, it has crept back up a little bit. But the other thing, and probably the most transformative thing for me, and I know this is going to sound strange as someone who's been a Unity minister and been in this movement for a long time, but I made a commitment to meditate every day, no matter what. Now, I've been a meditator for a long time, but I will say that there were days I'd get up late, and it just wouldn't happen. And I said, I'm not going to let one day go by. And there were a lot of obstacles to that, but I am 265 days into this, and I have not missed a day. And that no matter what in my life took a lot of focused effort, especially this second half of the year, when the physical losses of both my mom and of Mary left me feeling a little bit unmoored and ungrounded. And sometimes there would be that. I mean, literally there have been times where I got into bed and realized, nope, you didn't do it, and I got my butt back up, and I forced myself to do it. And I think it was one of the reasons I was able to navigate that, even though it wasn't great, as well as I did. And it was also my opportunity to really experience what I call the goo. I don't know if you have ever studied the metamorphosis process, but there's always goo involved. There's always a dissolving of what had been before the new can transform, whether it's from a caterpillar to a butterfly, or a beetle to a dragonfly, which is usually what I identify more with, or a tadpole to a frog. In that process, things sort of liquefy. And it's kind of a place to hang out in, but when you know that this is what's required to get to that next becoming, whatever that is, you just try and navigate through this. And it certainly gave me a very close-up look at my emotional eating habits, which I'm still in the process of going through this metamorphosis with. And this past November, I did another intensive spiritual retreat focused on really trying to heal all of those beliefs and subconscious memories that I was holding on to that still had me in many ways making decisions that didn't reflect loving my body. And I'm still processing all that. You'll probably hear about that more sometime in the coming year. So the idea is, it's not just something you do today and you get a nice name and then you put it away somewhere. This is, if it's going to be something that you can really embody, it has to be worked with. And those are just kind of the big ones. This is an everyday, every week process in your life. So in a moment, you're going to be invited into the silence. And when we move into that place, I just encourage you to let go of expectations about how that might show up for you, to release the need to figure it out, and to trust that Spirit will speak clearly to your listening heart. The name might come as a word, it might come as a feeling that you might have to then work with and figuring out what that quality is associated with it. It might be an image, it might just be a deep inner knowing. Just be open to whatever shows up, to know that it will unfold for you as the time is right. And there's no right way to receive this. So if you're ready, we're going to move into a time where we're just going to bring our attention inward. You may want to just close your eyes or focus on some point in the room. You can focus on the beautiful lights up here on the tree if that's more comfortable. And you're going to become aware of your breath. Just notice as it flows in and out of your body. And as you focus your attention on the breath, it begins to slow and become more rhythmic. And with each breath, you feel your thoughts start to quiet. You let go of whatever might have happened up until this moment, or anticipating what might be happening after this service, and simply, for this next few minutes, commit to just being present Our divine connection is through our heart. And so we move our attention now down into our heart space, physically located in the center of our chest. And imagine now that you're breathing in and out through your heart. It's no coincidence that the lungs are so close to this vital organ. And as you focus on that breath, you can feel the energy in your heart expanding, opening like a flower as it opens its petals to receive. And then simply ask the divine part of you, your soul, and the spirit, that energy of God moving in and through your body, to bring to your own mind and heart. What quality, what experience of being you would like to embody this year. If it doesn't come immediately, just patiently be open and wait as we spend just a few moments in the silence to deeply listen. And if you've received your word, whenever you're ready, you can take your marker and write that on this reminder of what your 2026 word of intention, word of being, you're being guided to. And if you feel multiple words moving through your awareness, then just allow them to move until you feel the one that moves your heart, that has an energetic feeling about it. And if it doesn't come in this short time frame, know that it will. We'll take just another few moments to receive and to write. And whenever you're ready, you can begin to bring your attention back to this time and place, aware once again of your physical body and the place that's supporting it. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. You know, sometimes I get my word, sometimes I get it days before I actually show up as I'm preparing to talk about it. Sometimes it comes in the moment. that we're doing this ceremony together, and sometimes it doesn't come for a week or two later. So I don't know what mine is going to be this year yet. It hasn't showed up. But so just know that if it didn't come today, then it will come. Just continue to listen. There'll be some synchronistic event that you'll go, ah, that's what it is. And while this white stone ceremony is certainly deeply personal, it's not individualistic. And here's what I mean by that. Unity teaches that we are all individual expressions of the one life. We are different facets of the one whole. And so as each of us embodies our divine nature more fully, we contribute to the healing and to the awakening of the whole. Can be no other way. So your peace blesses the collective. Your courage creates space for others to do the same. Your love changes the atmosphere, changes the energy of life itself. We are not becoming in spiritual isolation. We are becoming spiritual together. So may the name written upon your hearts today guide the choices that we make, shape our consciousness, and bless the world through our living it. For indeed, today it is a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for all of us. Well, it is our opportunity now to share of our financial good with this community. We are so grateful for the flow of abundance and prosperity that is moving through this community. And it's not just always about money, it's about how we show up in the way we serve this community, in our time, with our talents and with our treasure, and with ease and with grace. As we receive all the good that flows in and out of this community, we just bless it and we send it back out again through the ways in which we support our community. And that's our invitation today, is to hold whatever we give in our hands, energetically in our heart, if we give online, and bless it. Together, divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Father, Mother God.
All right, so that brings us to our peace song. Everybody stand up, grab hands. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And so as we go into this new year, open to being a new expression of the divine, we go knowing our prayer for protection will do it as call and response. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. And we'll do it together. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Ah, thank you.